Welcome back to my channel Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I will show you how I recreated this shirt with Basque waistline. If that's what you would like to learn, continue watching till the end. In my previous video, I shared the pattern drafting tutorial. For today, I'm going to show you how to sew it. If you have not watched the video on how to draft the pattern drafting, I will drop it in the description section. So today we are going to learn how to make the sleeve and the gathers. In the last video, this was where we stopped. We had cut all the pattern pieces. It's remaining for us to cut it out on the fabric. So as you can see, I'm going to cut the front. I'm going to cut 4 pieces for the lower part of the Basque waist, as you can see. And for this, the upper side, I'm going to cut 2 pieces. You can decide to cut 4 pieces. And for the back is going to be on fold. If you have watched that video, you'll understand it. So this is it after cutting it. I've cut 2 pieces for the white one and 4 pieces for the back. I've notched where we're going to gather and also notched this place to balance it up. So I'll go now and go and gather this for me to sew it into this place. So I sandwiched the 2 fabrics together and this is how it's looking. Very neat, right? Yeah, so we have where to add a zipper to this place, so I'm not going to close the front. I've gone ahead and added facing to it. Also for the back, I also added facing to the back. So you go ahead and cut out fabric and make facing for it. Next thing we're going to do is to join the shoulders. For me to join it, I'm going to place fabric to fabric, facing to facing, and I'm going to go ahead and sew 1/2 inch away. After sewing it, this is how it's looking. So next thing to do is for me to add the sleeve. For me to do that, I'm going to take the measurements on the dress. So I'll measure on fold. This is on fold right now. I'm going to measure from here to the side seam. What I have is 10 inches. The sleeve we are making is a bell sleeve, and I'm going to cut this particular type of bell sleeve on bias. So I folded my fabric into 2 like this. I'm going to fold it into triangle like this. If you know how we fold for circle flares, that's the same thing I'm going to, the same method I used. So I'll go ahead and start the sleeve. So I had 10 inches on fold, so I'm going to mark the 10 inches. Make sure you get where you have 10 inches. I'm using pencil because I don't want to write or use marker on my fabric. I came up by 5 inches and I'm going to connect this down to the 5 inches, the where I had the 10 inches. Next, I'm going to measure out the length of the sleeve, which is 23 inches. I added 1 inch sewing allowance to that, which will make it 24 inches. So from the sleeve head like this, I'm going all the way around like that to make the circle. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. So as you can see, if I gather this like this is how it's going to look. Yeah, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to notch the center of the sleeve so that I know where the sleeve is going to match up on the shoulder. I'll go ahead and place the sleeve like this and make sure the notch I made is going to be on the shoulder line. So you go ahead and place it like this. Remember, both the front and the back are the same thing. The sleeve are the same thing, so there is no back and front. After sewing it, this is how it's looking. So I'm going to gather this into the cuff, but before I do that, we're going to go to the skirt part. So we're going to be adding gathers to the lower part of the dress. For me to do that, we're going to calculate how we're going to do this. So first we are going to get the length of the skirt. So the length of the skirt, you're going to minus the length of the top. Top length is 18 inches. So 42 inches is the length of the full dress minus 18 inches for the top length. What you will have is 19 inches. So 19 inches, we're going to be adding sewing allowance 2.5 inches for hemming and joining allowance, which will make it 21.5. So the length of the skirt is 21.5. I will approximate that to be 22 inches. Next, we are going to calculate for the gathers of the skirt. So remember, this is the waistline here. So we are going to gather this. We're going to make it 3 times what you have on the waistline. So I will take the measurement of what I have here. Remember, this is on fold. From here to here, what I have is 9 inches. So because it's on fold, we are going to multiply this by 2. So 9 times 2 will give us 18 inches. And because we want this to be gathers to be 3 times by 3, we're going to times 18 times 3. And what you will have is 54 inches. So now we're going to be adding sewing allowance to that, 1 inch sewing allowance, which will make it 55 inches. So I'm going to cut fabric 55 inches by 22 inches. So 55 by 22 inches. So for us to get the V for the basque waist, I'm going to measure from the waistline down to the hemline. What I have is 7.5 inches. So note that I have 7.5 inches here. My fabric is folded into 2 and I have 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. So remember, what I came down on the basque waistline is 7.5 inches. So I'm going to mark 7.5 inches here like this, and I'm going to take this to the side seam. So take it to the side seam as you're seeing me do. I'll go ahead and cut this out.
So many times that I miss you. I know how to call when I want to. Now you got way bigger issues.
I'll take away that one for the back, and this is for the front. I'll go ahead and cut this open because the center front will have a zipper on the front. Next, I'll go ahead and gather this into the top part. After gathering it and adding zipper to it, this is how it's looking. The zip started from this place, as you can see, and for this place I'm going to go ahead and finish it up by using hemming gum. So I'm going to iron it in with the hemming gum. So make sure you do that, and also do the same thing at the hem. So for the sleeve, I've gone ahead and gathered this. So I'm going to make cuff for this. For me to make the cuff, I'm going to take the measurement of my wrist. So first I'm going to get the length of 4 inches, and I'm going to take round my wrist like this. What I have here is 9.5. So I'm going to fold 9.5 inches into 2 by 5 inches. So from here to here I have 10 inches like this on fold, which means it's for the 2 of them. And for this place, what I have here is 5 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut this open so that I will use it to make for the 2 sleeve. I'll go ahead and fold this like this. Just watch the way I'm going to fold it. The longer side is the side I'm going to sew straight. After sewing it, this is how it's looking. So this will be for the 2 sleeve. I'll go ahead and insert this into the sleeve. So for me to do this, you're going to align the side seam like this, and for beginners this will be easier for you to understand. So I'm going to put my hand inside like this so that I can have right side facing together. I'll go ahead and pin this. If you're a guru, you can just go ahead and sew it, but I'm going to pin it down for beginners to be able to understand, and also so that all your gathers will be equal. So go ahead and gather it so that it will be easy for you to sew it. So after gathering it now, after pinning it down, I'll go to my machine now and I'm going to sew it round. So go ahead and sew 1/2 inch out. After sewing it, this is how it's looking. Everything is all set. So if you have watched this video till this time, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it to your sewing community, both on Facebook and Pinterest. So guys, we have come to the end of today's sewing tutorial. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.
So many times that I miss you. I know how to call when I want to. Now you got way bigger issues.